try this. I don't know if it works. Fingers crossed it'll work this time. Hello, everybody. I'm having a lot of issues with the chat. Hi, everyone. How you doing? Hey, how we doing, Melissa, Raquel? Hopefully you're having a good day so far. It's the middle of the night here up in the Great White North of Canada. And just at the studio trying to get some work done. Got a lot, I don't know if I'd say a lot, a fair bit to go, but we're making good progress tonight. So cool. I just want to get some like kind of more wrinkling to the layers here. Anyone drawing along tonight, chat? We having a good time? Okay. I'm just trying to put the face off. Let's do it. Because I have a bit of fading to do here. I'm gonna put some gray in part of the ear there. Okay, I can't see chat now though. That was the scariest part. I was streaming on the YouTube app, and I know people were chatting. Oh, thank you so much, Erin. Are you an artist as well? Are you drawing along? I'll pull out and show you the whole page. So it's coming along here. Give a little pan around. So my image is flipped on my phone, so it's hard to see what's going on. But I'm glad you like it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Trying my best. Yeah, the storyline. It's a mixture between the setting is a samurai western setting with a lot of kind of magic and Celtic mythology sprinkled in there. And the entire setting is a planet where these miners, who I'm illustrating right now, essentially dug too deep and ended up popping and like released the kind of fey magic held within the world, and the entire planet popped like a balloon and cracked along all its tectonic edges, and shit goes down from there. So kind of like the humans are kind of cowboys and samurai, similar tropes in them, and then there's lots of fey magical creatures and shenanigans afoot. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this guy here. I'm making sure I didn't miss any of my criteria. I'm not sure. I think I do a little up to these rocks here, but I'm not gonna overdo them. I may come back and revisit this panel background-wise, but I'm not sure. Oh yeah, heavy metal is a big influence. If you spotted the Mobius in my work, I'm sure you could tell he's one of my heroes. Mobius is who is one of the founders of heavy metal, is one of my art heroes for sure. He's incredible. His stuff on the Long Tomorrow with fantasy sci-fi. I'd say this one falls more under fantasy, but I do love both, and I've worked on both in the past. This one's definitely more of a kind of strange world fantasy type stuff, though. All right, I think I need to let part of the pick here. Give it a little fade. There we go. Okay. Just so you know, chat, this one's gonna be pretty simple. What year is this set in? It's a fictional world, so it's the world is called Aether Deep. So there's no yeah, there will be words. The text will be added um on in post on the computer. I'm not a very good calligrapher, so I would not trust myself to make anything approaching legible in on the page itself. I think I Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Worked very hard on this stuff. I'm chipping away on this while I wait for oil painting to dry behind me because I got a commission to finish tonight as well. Busy, busy. Ink. I'm using a few tools. I have microns here for the fine lining, and then I have a few sizes of brush pen for the everything else. I usually do very, very like if I do pencils, I don't always. I do them just as layouts. I don't do much type penciling just because I don't have time in the day for that much kind of drawing the same thing over and over again. I'd rather make progress. And I'm confident enough with my tools and all that I don't like if it's something especially difficult, I will pencil. I'm not stubborn, but I generally just want to keep moving things along. Do I see it on the paper or in my mind? I have a strong visualization skill, I'd say, but I tend to visualize things in motion. So when I visualize, it's more just kind of trying to feel out the kind of I generate the idea of the thing, but not commit too hard to any like any frame of it. If you imagine like my visualization is like a GIF, I kind of am seeing a little scene play out on repeat, but and that's kind of how I describe, when you close your eyes and envision something, you don't have a perfect recollection of it, you just have the vibe. And so I get the idea, and then I just kind of allow my drawing fundamentals to carry me through that. I find when and just kind of try to then go from there and focus more on what's on the paper in front of me than what I initially visualized. Because that those will be naturally will become two different things. And I think if you try to enslave yourself to what you originally imagined, it will very quickly fall apart if you try to force the drawing to obey you. And drawing with ink, especially, is a very collaborative process. I think you have to let the ink kind of lead you like a dancer. You can't just necessarily unless you have like a photographic memory or some Kim Jong-gi type. I don't think you can necessarily give the ink the sort of orders that you might want to with a pencil because it's unforgiving. You need to work with it. So I'd say get the idea in your mind, but don't hard commit to it. Have some flexibility as you work. And also I guess know within an image what is and is not recoverable. So for example, this face right now is a little janky looking, but I know that it just needs the lighting to be fixed. Your lines are flawless in the layout pre-plan placement. Um, oh gosh, let me think of how best to answer that. My pre-plan, so my phases are kind of like I'll grab some papers to show. Actually, here, I can show here. So if I go over here, this is kind of like the first layer. Here are these very very quick kind of just representational sketches. Like we can see here is the guy and something's exploding in front of him. And the whole page was like that, and I'm just kind of working my way through now on like the second layer. Think of that over there like my as if it was my pencil stage, right? I figured everything out. And for more complicated images, like my script here, this was a ink drawing I did for a company in Toronto, near where I live, a card shop, face-to-face games, commissioned this, and that was all done with no, that was all done with brushes, in a very just like let the brush lead style. I should be published. Thank you. I was making comics for indie magazines in my region for a while, and this is actually my kind of first comic getting back into it. I was doing illustration for a card game that I unfortunately due to an NDA can't talk much about, but kind of took a break from that whole world of comics for quite some time, and I'm hoping that I will be published in the next short while. That would be wonderful. Okay. I'm 27. And yeah, no, I am a working illustrator, but comics are a pain to break into. You love the 300, like the Frank Miller comic, or like or the like the one about Spartans, or am I missing something here? The book. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, for the book, yeah. Frank Miller's art is just incredible. At that period, he was doing. He had come off Sin City and he did 300. Yeah, the art in that story is wonderful. I met Frank Miller at Fan Expo in Toronto a couple of years ago. He was an interesting man, very very opinionated, but in that way that many kind of older gentlemen are. He was fascinating to talk to, I will say. He had quite the lineup throughout the day as well. The corner of the convention that he was in was quite a place to be because Frank Miller, I think, was seated right beside Greg Capullo, and they had to move security into that corner because the lines are so big for both of them. Being a man, do I have any trouble drawing feminine details? I I do sometimes struggle drawing women, but not, I don't think it's because I'm male. I think it's because I like to draw a lot of these nude. I think it's more just because of my drawing style. I do a lot of shadows and a lot of kind of noodly details. And so here, I'll try and find a drew of a woman over here. Or this is a painting, but I like a lot of the time this is an oil painting of mine here. A lot of time my women will kind of turn out a bit more kind of butch looking because I tend to just give my characters a bit more kind of grotesqueness, I suppose, than oh fuck, it's hard to hold steady. Okay, hold on. There we go. Yeah, like I find a lot of my women kind of end up looking like this, where they just have stronger noses and features. And I think that's more just a result of the way I draw than of my sex, because I can't, like, I have had to draw women for projects and make do. But yeah, I think with the amount of detail I throw into things, I can very quickly age up or my women. So I'd say no, I don't have trouble drawing women. I have trouble drawing idealized, beautiful women, because as attractive as they are to look at in real life and in media, I'd say for me they're less fun to draw than a granny. But I think I don't think that has to do with my gender. I think it's more just style. I do understand what you mean. Like if you're referencing your own hand and your own face as you're learning, yeah, and you're a woman or a man, it could be harder to find good reference for certain things, I suppose. Norman Rockwell's wonderful. Yeah, I'm a big fan of his uh, painting influences. I really like Donato Giancola. I love Karl Kapinski. I love Norman Rockwell, of course. Frank Frazetta. Um, Yada yada. Um, Carla Ortiz is a digital painter who I love. Real people. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I will say I try to draw people less idealized. I teach as well. I do private tutoring, and a lot of what I teach is idealized bodies, because I'm tutoring a lot of younger people, kids and teenagers who want to draw superheroes, right? And obviously with a superhero, you want them to be super heroic and beautiful and muscular and all that. And if I ever do a superhero book, I have to draw them in the same. It's true, but in the case of my own personal drawings, I prefer hairy little hunchbacks with a million details. Yes, Norman also did realistic looking people. That's true. Yeah, he was good at that. But I mean, by the same token, I like Frazetta, who did not do realistic people. He did, bodacious women and muscular men. So I don't think it's. I think it's more just about the story you're trying to tell. There's room for both. You wouldn't want a hard-boiled detective who looked like Superman, but you wouldn't want a last son of Krypton who had a pot belly, right? It's just. I think it's just to do with what the needs of the tale are. I think everything should be beholden to the story. If you want to follow my Instagram, I will drop it in chat. By the way, I have an art account on Instagram. Boom. That's for anyone in chat here. That is my Instagram there, and you can feel free to give me a follow to see more of my work and say hi and all that. Thank you for the subscription. I really appreciate that. Um, I'm gonna try to stream more often. I want to make drawing videos. I have some music I've made up on the channel, some demos, but I would really like to make more art content. But oh gosh, we'll have to see. I think I might just stream for now too. But you're always welcome to come back to hang out on the streams, Aaron. You seem like a lovely person. Thank you for the subscription, regardless. Okay, so we gotta get there. Oh, thank you, thank you. I I have always drawn. I drew. My mom says I drew before I could walk, and I think I might believe her. Like I can't remember a part of my life where I wasn't making things. And I've always been motivated to keep learning. But it made it hard to start learning to teach because my students will ask me, how do you do this? And if it's a new question, I don't have like a programmed answer. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, how do I do that? Because I've just always done it. It can be hard to conceptualize of. So there is I think a wisdom that comes with starting to learn at an older age, where you have a bit more maturity in how you approach things. Try drawing the Statue of Liberty. Um, yeah, I mean, that's actually not a bad idea. Like that, yeah, that's definitely like an idealized but strong looking female body. Not a bad idea. I do love drawing Wonder Woman because she's like, powerful looking and has more masculine features than a lot of comic superheroes, because she's like a warrior, but also is very beautiful and has a lot of feminine traits as well. I think she's a lot of fun to draw. She's like, yeah, Wonder Woman doesn't get enough love. Like practice. Did you mean to say like practice there, or am I misreading something? Yeah, yeah. Mona Lisa is soft, although Mona Lisa was painted using a method of painting that would make me want to eat glue. It looks horrible to paint. How the way Da Vinci painted was very painstaking, and I would go mad trying it. I think. Yeah, yeah. Like Mona Lisa does have soft features though, and it's just a matter of subject matter there. I think because Mona Lisa would have been referenced from a person at that time, whereas I don't know if the Statue of Liberty was built from a specific like with a specific model in mind. It's a good question. One of the some historian can answer that later. I'm sure it's known. Okay, I think this face is getting to the point where I can move along from it because I don't want to start to over detail it. Need to add a few more fades over here, and I think we're good. All right. Okay, a little shade on the eyes. Did I ever see Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Yes, of course. That's a classic movie. Um, yeah, if you're talking about classic baddies, I know jacked biker type men who have tattoos of Jessica Rabbit on their arm. And yeah, like the thing with women like that, like your Jessica Rabbits, is like they're very simple to draw in the sense that they have very little lines, but that means the technical end of making sure the maybe 8 lines that make up Jessica Rabbit's face are all in the perfect spot to look just right. Two worlds collide. Yeah, yeah, that was a revolutionary bit of animation um, technique, especially for the time. Yeah, very impressive stuff. Yeah, kind of same as Space Jam idea. Had all of the animation and live action combination. All right, I think we're gonna move along from this face here. I say as a beard technically, I'm moving along from it. Okay. All right. All right. This ear over here, I actually need to fade that a little. Okay. Yeah, Mary Poppins. I guess they did. She did that even earlier, didn't she? Yeah, those old school kind of Hollywood blockbusters with the 2D effects and like the 2D hand drawn characters interacting with 3D effects is so impressive and must have been absolutely laborious. Okay, so we're gonna go from the top here because you haven't seen this part of the process yet, I think. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, we're gonna get the brush out, and we're gonna start with spotting black. I'm just putting an X there. I will fill it in first because I'm on stream, but I have a juicier marker brush here, who I would usually use later to go over these all at once. But probably should be looking for big to small. Yeah? So that's the pick hitting the rock and cracking it. That's right. What I'm depicting here is the sundering, which is the moment where they popped the planet like a balloon by digging one pick swing too deep and rupturing a bubble that held the magic inside of the planet. Glass, Bruce, and Jackson. I'm not sure what you're referring to be honest, with that one. What's that? Okay, yeah, no, I have not seen that. I'm imagining it's in that same vein of hybrid movies, or am I way off? I think Jackson is made of glass. I mean, maybe I haven't seen the movie, so my context for if that statement is true or not is limited. I mean, maybe he is. He might be a glassy boy. It's a superhero story. That's cool. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I'm not familiar. When's it from? Sam Jackson's in a wheelchair in it. I'm now picturing Sam Jackson as Professor X. You motherfuckers gotta go fight Magneto. Magneto, rips a building apart. Oh, motherfucker. 7 years ago? Okay, so that's pretty new. Interesting. Yeah, no, I never have heard of it in my life. I'm not a big movie buff, though. I don't watch a lot of movies. I read a lot. I listen to audiobooks and read comics and stuff. 2019. Okay, yeah, so a bit ago. Cool. Uh, Maybe I'll look up what's going on with that. It's called Glass. Okay. So Sam Jackson movie called Glass. Good, good, good. Okay. Yeah, if I'm feeling especially bold, I'll use my this brush for fine lines, but it's a very sensitive tool, so usually it doesn't get that privilege. Breaks bones easy. Oh yeah, okay. So like he has glass bones, or so to speak. No, you're not spamming at all. I appreciate the company. You're good. No one else is talking. You're welcome to. I don't know if you wanted to add my Instagram. I posted it in chat, but you seem nice. No, you're good. You don't need to feel bad at all. If I wasn't enjoying your company, I wouldn't keep chatting, right? The image just reminded you of breaking glass. I see. Yeah. I mean, fair. Yeah, it's like a rupturing area of of material. Cool. Yeah. From North Carolina. Cool. I'm from Ontario, so near Toronto in Canada. How's North Carolina? Yeah, like Southern Ontario. Like yeah, in the middle, near the Great Lakes. Yeah, near the Great Lakes, relatively speaking, at least. Yeah, above Michigan. That's right. Yes. Yeah, like you can cross the border from Detroit, and if you get over the border, I'm about 2 hours, north of there. LOL. Yeah. Yeah. No Canadian A. What's that about, bud? Want to go play some hacky? Bob Ross was a good motivator. Yes, he was such a beautiful personality. What a wonderful man. My dog likes to watch Bob Ross videos. Very cute. He likes Bob. He gets excited for it. I put it on the TV because it's like calming. I'd put it on when he was a puppy to help him settle in his crate while I was out. Yeah, he's so calm. Him and I are, I'd say he's my spirit animal, but we could not be more different. I'm a hyper motherfucker. Um, yeah, I mean, oil paints take patience, but someone just wheeled past with a trolley. Yeah, oil paints are a slow medium, but they're very fun to work with. They are like painting with butter, and as long as you don't mind having I think having other mediums to play with while you wait for them to dry is helpful. I think if you exclusively worked in oils, you'd spend a lot of time doing nothing. But by having my ink work in the meantime, it saves it. And oils are not my main medium. Uh, yeah, yeah. Ink is my favorite medium to work with, not oil. But oils are beautiful. Okay, start working with these rock formations here. The Scream oil. I'm not sure what you mean by that. The you mean the Van Gogh painting? I don't know if it is or not. I'm not very familiar with Van Gogh's techniques and stuff. I'm guessing it probably was based on just how it looks, but I can't be certain. Yeah. I like I said, Starry Night is a beautiful artwork. I don't know how Van Gogh made it. I just look and appreciate. Um, and yeah, he made some beautiful art. Was the Scream Edward? Oh, you are so right. I'm sorry. I'm I'm an idiot. You're absolutely correct. I don't know why. Why did I think it was Van Gogh? I guess same time period. Look at my uncultured comic book making ass. Didn't know who painted this Scream. It is oil. Okay, well that's good to know. Yeah, like it has the texture and the consistency of it, but um it can be surprising, and I just try not to assume. Okay. The weight falls down the canvas. Yeah. I mean, that depends on your technique being used. I tend to paint pretty thin with a fair bit of paint thinner involved. And I tend to really scrub the paint into the canvas. So my oil paintings are rather thin, but a lot of people like that physical texture to it. Okay. So for these, we'll just be using fine liner because they're highly illuminated. So instead of using a brush for the spot blacks, I will be just hatching to make it all seem bright, even where it's dark. Yeah, if you're painting on a smaller canvas, you have to be more measured with your approach. That's true. Yeah, nice to meet you too. I might be heading out soon as well. Have a great night.